Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are listening to me from. Today, I'm so excited. You can see me beaming with smiles because I'm about to teach on a module. By the way, my name is Gbenga Richmond. I'm the Pathfinder of Green Area and also the Pathfinder of the Green Mentorship School. So, there's something I'm beaming with smiles, right? Because I'm about to teach on a module that is at the heart. The heart of the matter is the matter of the heart. Is at the heart of most people that this school, this mentorship school, is targeted at. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this module is titled The God-Centered Marriage. I know. A lot of butterflies are flying through your stomach, and you're wondering, is God really interested in marriage? I thought it was just a man-made thing. Don't worry. We'll go into all of that. So, what is the objective of this module, the God-Centered Marriage? At the end of this module, you should know what God's purpose is for marriage. Do you know that God has a purpose for every marriage? Do you know? Well, now you know. You need to be able to understand kingdom principles for marriage success. Doesn't it make sense that the person who authored a thing such as marriage will have the secret sauce to success, different from your social media? Anyway, and then you're going to learn how to discern God's choice for you in marriage. Do you know that there is someone that is meant for you that you're supposed to marry? It's not just a random girl on the street or at the club or at your uni. There's somebody that was prepared, pre-planned for you to marry. And I'm not talking about we have the same religion. No, I'm talking about somebody prepared. Do you believe it? That somebody has been prepared and there are signs to look for to come into contact with such a person? We're going to talk all about that in this module. And then you need to recognize the 8 phases of marriage. Many people go through marriage without understanding that marriage is in phases, and you need to even know what the 8 phases of marriage are and know which phase you are in per time so that you know how to manage the situation. Okay, let's go. Introduction. These are critical things I want to explain to you. God is the author of marriage. God is the author of marriage. Marriage is an institution created by God. Believe it or not, He has someone in mind best suited for you. I already told you that. God's original purpose for marriage includes companionship. So God wants you to get married for companionship. It is not good for a man to be alone. For unity, can two work together except they agree? For procreation, you are supposed to dominate the earth and bring about, fulfilling the kingdom agenda. Partnership, two are better than one, because if one is down, the other one is there to help him up. And shared vision, can two agree? Except to work together. The man typically is supposed to have a vision. The woman typically is supposed to be the helpmate to help that person achieve that vision. Do you also realize that the minute or the day thank you that the minute or the day that you decide that you're not going to go in the same direction. Let's say husband is going south, you are going left. Husband is going to Lagos, you're going to Port Harcourt. That if you keep at it for so long, that's what leads to something called separation and then divorce. Divorce is division. You are supposed to have a shared vision. What leads to divorce? Division. So everybody, instead of you being one, each spouse now has their own vision in this direction. So ultimately, your union is supposed to mirror the relationship between Christ and the church and bring pleasure to Him. The whole concept of marriage, remember we said it's an institution that was authored by God. God is trying to mirror or create a type and shadow of the relationship He has with the body. So Christ is our groom, we are the bride. So, and then eventually we're going to come into some form of union eventually. So it's like God trying to experiment with that relationship between Himself and us, His body, using marriage as a template, if you know what that means. So as a God-centered couple, you are more than just life partners. Some people say, oh, it's just my partner. No, you're more than that. You are co-stewards of a covenant that glorifies God. So in that marriage institution, God is going to make resources available. God is going to bring children that you're supposed to guide in godly principles. God is going to do so many things through that couple to achieve a bigger agenda. Consider yourself as ambassadors in that marriage for Christ. Do you understand what I'm saying so far? Then, much like a divine blueprint, your marriage is built on 3 foundational pillars. Your marriage is built on 3 foundational pillars, namely a purpose that aligns with God's will. You must have a shared vision and you must know your purpose in that marriage that aligns with God's will. Number 2, principles that anchor your relationship in His word. So everything you do in the marriage, you have to look at it from the lens of scriptures, of what God will want for this marriage, not what you want for yourself, not this thing going about that it's my body, it's my body, my rules, or all that stuff. You have to follow the template according to the author of the marriage institution, and there are principles that guide that. Then phases that guide you through every season of your journey together. We told you there are 8 phases in the marriage institution, and I'm going to take you through it one after the other. What's the quote of the day? The Lord said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. Therefore, I will make a helper suitable for him." Anchor scripture is in Genesis 2:18, the New International Version. The essence of marriage started by a statement from God that said, "The Lord God said, it is not good." So God saw it is not good for the man to be alone. So what was the solution? I will make a helper suitable for him. The original purpose of a woman, if you're a man, is that this woman is coming into your life to beautify it, to help make your life easier. It's like she's like your co-pilot. And if you're a woman listening to this, you are the co-pilot to your husband. Your husband typically will have the vision. You, the woman, are supposed to aid, to support. Some people say that if the husband is the head of the family, then the woman is the neck to support. If you don't have a neck, you can't go this way or go that way, to support the vision, the direction. And Samadiyame will usually say that leadership is all about the head, that wherever the head goes, the rest of the body follows. So as the head, you are the leader, but you need a neck so that you can turn left and right. If that makes sense, let's keep going. So choosing a partner, my uncanny discovery. Okay, here's a quick story. I hope I have enough time. Sometime several years ago, I can't recollect exactly when, I just got an inspiration of how, if you know Tim Laye, why you act the way you do, and he talked about all this temperament, melancholy, phlegmatic, choleric, and what's the 4th one, sanguine. Something similar, like a formula, just came to me unprepared, unplanned. If I'm going to be very real with you, I don't consider myself a marriage counselor or a marriage expert or anything, but I was just going about my business when the inspiration came. And I've not been able to shake off this inspiration, because every time I look at every couple or intending couple, or people having a crisis in their marriage, I just find out that this inspiration keeps working. It has never failed even once. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to do a book, and I'm going to work on it. I'm going to create a book on this, but for now, let me give it to you for free. I'm going to go deeper into breaking it down so people can really use it to get to the next level pre-marriage, before they get married, in the marriage. They need to understand some of these things, and that is what that book is going to be about. But for now, let's focus. So what is this discovery? What is this discovery? So I discovered this marriage compatibility formula for choosing a partner. So I was just going about my business. I would usually want to teach about leadership, teach about wealth, teach about maybe a little bit about the workplace, but leadership and wealth are anything money matter and anything leadership. Those are my 2 core areas. So marriage will not be something I would usually delve into, but it came unannounced, unprepared. I was minding my business, so who am I? I have to fall to command. So I discovered this marriage compatibility formula for choosing a partner, and here goes. Now, first one, formula 1 is hot equals HH. Don't worry, you understand, son. Number 2 is cold equals CC. So in this case, the first one is the husband, the second one is the wife. So if the husband is hot and the wife is hot, it's going to lead to hot. You have the formula the combination hot hot. If the husband is cold, if the wife is cold, you have the combination cold cold. Let's go. If the husband is hot and the woman is cold, if the husband is cold and the woman is hot, you have CH, which is cold hot. If the husband is hot and the woman is cold, you now have hot cold. So you have hot hot, cold cold, cold hot, and hot cold. Let's go. So let's start defining these formulas. Now the first one is hot hot, which is HH. Let's go. Hot in this context means hunter or highly driven. So HH means the man is highly driven. A hunter, that means the man is highly driven, meaning a hunter, and the woman is also highly driven, meaning a hunter. This hybrid or combination in a marriage is typically a disaster. Have you heard the word two masters cannot serve in the same boat? Yeah, that's the best analogy I can give to this formula I received. So if the husband is hot, that means the husband is a hunter and the wife is a hunter. That marriage will typically lead to a disaster if care is not taken, separation or divorce. What do I mean? What do I mean by a hunter? Just imagine the typical African hunter that you know. Carries a gun, carries a cap with torchlight, in the night goes into the bush to catch game or catch bushmeat for the family. Now, a hunter is driven. You need to be a very driven, bold person. If I used to have this cousin or something back in the village who by 7 o'clock he would wear the usual hunter regalia, carry his Dane gun or hunter's gun, and then he will have a cap where we attach a torchlight, and he's going into the bush by 7 p.m. You know, there are snakes, there are dragons, well, maybe not dragons, there are antelopes, there are all kinds of evil that can happen to him. He believes that just this touch. Sometimes he might go with a dog, but usually he doesn't want. He just believes he will be safe because he wants to go and catch game for the family. Now, that hunter spirit is a driven spirit, and that spirit usually is in the man. So, if a man is bold and driven, you know, and a woman is also bold and driven, just picture the wife carrying a Dane gun or a hunter's gun and the wife carrying a hunter's gun, and they are both heading to the bush to catch game. Because this hybrid or combination in a marriage is typically a disaster. Why? Because with two hunters in the same house, there's more than enough meat but no one to tend, prepare and preserve it. In the typical village setting where the man is the hunter, when the man goes to the bush, he catches game, maybe like an antelope, and brings it home. The woman's role, the supportive role of a woman in this context, is to tend the bushmeat, is to prepare it, is to preserve it, prepare it, and turn it into something eatable. Like, okay, you roast it, you boil it, you fry it, you put it in a soup, and then that's supposed to be the combination that's supposed to work, right? But imagine hunter 1, the husband, brings an antelope. Hunter 2, the wife, also goes into the bush and brings a bear. Who's going to tend it? They're both tired. They have 2 mates. Usually that mate might decay. The other one I'm saying, I'm also talking in parables. So usually a hunter husband and a hunter wife usually is a disaster. So there will be enough meat but no one to tend, prepare and preserve it. So HH, that's hot, really agree on a shared vision. Remember that we said that a couple is supposed to have a shared vision. They're supposed to be going in the same direction. But when you have 2 assertive people, 2 bold people, 2 hunters, then one person wants to go this way, one person wants to go this way. If they continue long enough, it's going to lead to a divorce. Are you beginning to get the analogy? HH really agreed on a shared vision, any more than 2 drivers on the same driver's seat. So another analogy is the car. Somebody has to hold the steering, another person has to be on the passenger side to help the person driving. I recall back then my dad was in NNPC, so when we traveled once a year or thereabout, or Easter in December or Christmas and Easter, we would take the long journey from Port Harcourt to Kogi State. It's usually about 700 kilometers, maybe 15 hours on the road. Sometimes we are getting home midnight. What happens? My dad is on the steering, is one that is going to drive, and then my mother is going to be at the passenger side, which is like a co-pilot. What is my dad's role? To drive us to destination. What is my mother's role? She will already have some things in the passenger seat. She will have a cooler. She will have some items. And what will she be doing? She'll bring out banana, give it to her husband, give some to us. She'll bring granite, give it to husband, give it to us. She'll bring fried meat. She'll bring this. She'll bring that. She will ensure that we are okay in terms of nourishment till we get to where we are going. She will also sometimes even say, "Oh, which is like, well done, sir. Well done with the driving." Giving the man support, giving my father support as he drove from point A to B, usually over 18, 19 hours. So HH really agree on a shared vision. So imagine that the same setting, my dad is trying to, we wake up 6 a.m., we are about to hit the road. Even though, by the way, my dad never travels. He will say he's going to leave by 6 a.m., but we usually leave 12:01. That's why we get home 12 midnight, 1 a.m. It's a story for another day. But just imagine my dad gets to the steering wheel. Okay, let's go. And my mother, instead of going to the passenger side, she's also by the driving wheel to that. Look, I'm going to drive. So daddy is saying, I'm going to be the one to drive us. Mommy is saying, I'm going to be the one to drive us. They keep arguing and arguing. Do you think we will get to our destination? No, they will fight. We will come out. We will try to separate the matter before everything is done. Maybe daddy will get angry, go back and say, well, you drive the rest to the village. I'm no longer going on this journey. Are you see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, what happens is there is a major division, so we cannot get to destination. HH really agreed on a shared vision any more than two drivers on the same driver's seat. They would argue and fight most of the time and may eventually go their separate ways, aka divorce. If they stick together though, it will be one hell of a marriage. I've seen marriages where the husband and wife manage, your daddy and mommy manage to stay together, but there are two hot people. Everyone, there are two masters in a boat, and no one wants to step down for the other, and it's a complete disaster. And you don't want to be home because maybe you're in school, you're in boarding school, you're in the uni, and you want to come back home, and you're like, no, I don't want to experience what daddy and mommy does. Check very well. They are two hot people. So hot is not ideal for a marriage setting. That's Formula 1. So let's go. What is B? Code. I'm sure it's beginning to make sense to you now. CC. What does CC mean? Code in this context means coolant or stabilizer. So if somebody is hot, you need somebody to pour some coolant, like your radiator in the car. If the car is hot, a coolant will help ensure that the car does not overheat. Are you seeing? So the radiator might be the main guy, the hunter, trying to keep trying to keep the car at a balanced temperature, even if it's going on top speed for several hours. But you need to put a coolant at some point to ensure that the car does not overheat and pack up in the course of the journey. So code in this context means coolant or stabilizer. So CC means the man makes the home cool or stable, and the woman also makes the home cool or stable. You might be wondering that, okay, since hot usually looks like this, two hot people are bad. Okay, why not we try two cold people? What happens when you have two cold people, two stabilizers or two coolants without a radiator? This hybrid or combination in a marriage makes a below average home. There was one time I was staying in Guagalada, and then in a student compound, but there was this couple, very old. They had like 2-3 children, and they were staying in that place. To start with, they had no business living in that student compound because they are not students. They are elderly people. They probably have been married for 10-15 years. They had they had a child that was finishing school and going to the uni. Just imagine that scenario. But they were staying in it's off campus, like a student home. They just had maybe a room and a parlor. It wasn't so great. And they were there for like 3 years, 4 years, and they had been there before I even came. And when I studied this family, what I discovered was that the man code, the woman code. There's no hunter. They are both tenders. And when you are when husband is tending and wife is tending, what would they tend? There's nothing to bring home from the bush for both of them to tend. So you see this kind of below average home. Why? Because two coolants or stabilizers in the same house we really fight. Yes, I rarely heard them fight. In fact, I never heard them. I didn't even hear them shout. I didn't hear the husband or the wife raise their voice. It sounds cool. It sounds like the ideal thing. But here's the problem. Because two coolants or stabilizer in the same house will really fight. Yes, sounds good, but will really have or pursue any shared vision, and they will hardly aspire to any goal that involves risk. The reason why they're in that student home with us is maybe there were opportunities that required them for the hunter to take a risk and grab the opportunity, and they say, no, let's just live our cool life. And that cool life meant that they were staying with us, that we were students. Me myself, in that setting, I was not a student in that setting, but I came there because I was so frustrated. I was trying to go to the UK. It's a story for another day. And then that was where I ended up. My mom even entered the place. So it was such that I did not like being there. And to think that someone had a family there, had children, somebody even about to go to the university, and they had been there maybe 3, 4, 5 years, that's what code leads to. None will want to take the driver's seat, but passing the buck till things deteriorate or get out of hand until an external pressure is applied, except somebody comes and push. And how long can you push people when you have your own issues? These types stick together no matter what and console each other in mediocrity or misery. They usually don't fight. Nobody settles quarrels for them, but they are not reaching for the true potential they are supposed to have. So cold is not ideal. Let's look at cold hot. So cold hot means that CH means the man makes the home cool or stable, that's a tender, and the woman is highly driven, a hunter. Okay, you know the drift now. This hybrid or combination in a marriage is not ideal, but can make successful. This hybrid or combination in marriage is not ideal, but can make successful homes if well managed. Do you know that if the man is cold and if the man is the one that tends, more like the homemaker, and the woman is the hunter, it's not ideal. Especially in African society, it's not ideal. The man is supposed to go out there and fend and bring stuff home for the woman to prepare. But well, if that happens, to me, from our analysis, is the second best combination to having a marriage. It's not the best, but the second best. But hot is a disaster. Cold is a disaster. Cold hot is the second best situation that you should have in a marriage setting. Why? This hybrid or combination in a marriage is not ideal, but can make successful homes if well managed. Why? It's not ideal because a woman isn't a natural hunter. Typically, a woman was designed to receive the meat and tend it, not hunt for it. And the man was designed to hunt for the meat and bring it home, not tend it. So in CH marriages, the woman takes up the leadership role or hunts, while the man brings stability or tend to the home. While there are homes where this hybrid will work, it often leads to friction as each partner struggles with roles they were not originally designed for. This is the best time for me to tell you something very important. The original purpose for man-woman relationship is that the man is the hunter, the man is the leader, the man is the priest, the man is the one that is the face of the family, the woman is the support, the man is the head, the woman is the neck. That's how God made it. That's the original intention of the author of the institution of marriage. But because sometimes things don't go the way they are supposed to go, you now have homes where the woman is performing the role of the man, the woman is performing the role of the man, and then the man is performing the role of the woman. If the woman is driven, I have several examples but I can't mention. If the woman is driven, then the woman has to step up and be a hunter. But while the woman is a hunter, the husband has to be very cool, like be able to live with being the supporter and not the leader. That's one key thing. For it to be next to ideal, the woman must be driven to be the one to hunt, to be the leader of the home, to be the career person, to be the money maker. Then it was hunting, now it's money. So the woman needs to step up and be the money maker. The man has to step up and do wifely duties. I was staying in a home. I was staying in a flat where the couple or the landlord and landladies were in a duplex, and in front, so we are at the back. And this CH relationship was what I see play out. Remember, it's ever since I got the inspiration, I kept checking every home to see how it fits. So this landlord and landlady, they were operating the CH model, the CH marriage. The woman was the hunter, was the leader, was the one that was the money maker. The man was the tender, the one was the home manager. So the woman money maker, the man home manager. And the woman was doing the job well because she was bringing a lot of money into the home. In fact, the apartment we're staying, from the rumors I got, was that she built it. She was the one that built it with her money. She was the one that was even in charge of the whole building and structure and everything, in charge of the staffs that built it, the technicians that built it. Now, but this man was also doing his role, because he's the one that will run errands, take the children to the school most of the time. He's the one that will cook. He's the one that will cook for the home. He's the one that provided the softer, nurturing requirements that a child needs. And I hope you also know that, this cold hot or hot cold, a man and woman plays the messy judgment role in a family. How do I mean? Like, for example, now with my son, I am I'm the judgment guy, in the sense that when my son does something bad, I'm the one that disciplines him. Then when I discipline him, he runs to the mother for mercy. Oh, don't worry, daddy beat you, Abby. Well, what did you do that daddy beat you? Don't do it again. Do you see? That role must be played. So he was the one playing the nurturing role. Oh, don't worry, mommy beat you. So if you can manage it well, it leads to some friction, because that's not the ideal. The man is supposed to hunt or lead or make the money, and the woman is supposed to tend or prepare or manage the home. But these things can be interplaced if properly managed. Is the next to the ideal situation. So I'm going to stop at this point. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself going through this. We started with hot, then we went to cold. Now we're in cold, and then we are going to be doing hot in the part 2 of this module titled The God-Centered Marriage. If you enjoyed this, then now is a good time for you to take a pause, go to the subscribe button on YouTube, subscribe to this channel. Don't just subscribe, like. If you enjoyed this, don't just like, share this to someone who needs to see it. Maybe a family or a couple or a neighbor who is going through this challenge and they don't understand why they're having friction in the home. You might want to take this formula to them and then share this video to them, and it will bless them. And then, of course, come to the comment section. Let's discuss this. Come and tell me what you think about this formula. If you are married, how is this playing out? Are you an HH? Are you a CC? Are you a CH? Or you're an HH? Or you're an HC? Come into the comment section. Let's discuss this. And then if you have questions, of course, I'll be available to answer them. Thank you so much for your time. See you in the part 2 of this module.